The Tragedy of William Brown, Survival and Sacrifice on the High Seas. In March 1841, the American ship William Brown set sail from Liverpool, bound for Philadelphia. On board were 65 passengers, many seeking a better life, along with a crew of 17. The journey began uneventfully, but by April 19th, disaster struck. As the ship approached Newfoundland, it collided with an iceberg late at night. The hull began filling with water at an alarming rate. Chaos erupted as passengers and crew scrambled to the lifeboats. Only two, the longboat and the smaller jolly boat, were available. The captain, second mate, and a few crew members took the jolly boat, while the first mate, most of the crew, and 32 passengers crowded into the longboat. Left behind on the sinking ship were 31 passengers. Their desperate pleas to join the lifeboats met with grim refusal. As the ship plunged beneath the waves, their cries were swallowed by the sea. For those in the longboat, survival came with a steep cost. The sea was merciless, the rain relentless, and the biting cold unbearable. By the evening of April 20th, exhaustion and panic gripped everyone aboard. The first mate, unable to maintain control, handed leadership to sailor Alexander Holmes. Holmes saw the dire truth. The boat could not hold everyone. Under his direction, the grim task began. Passengers, mostly men, were forcibly thrown overboard. Among the victims was Frank Askin, whose sisters begged for his life. Their cries fell on deaf ears. Accounts differ on whether the sisters were thrown over or voluntarily followed their brother, but all three met their end in the icy Atlantic. In total, 14 people were cast into the sea. When dawn broke on April 21st, a ship, the Crescent, appeared on the horizon. The survivors were rescued, their ordeal finally over. The captain's jolly boat was found days later by a French fishing vessel. Back in Philadelphia, the tragedy sparked outrage. Survivors filed complaints, and Alexander Holmes was charged with manslaughter for his role in the deaths. During his trial, Holmes's actions were scrutinized. He was painted as both a hero, rescuing a sick child left on the sinking ship, and a villain, casting others to their deaths. The court ultimately ruled that necessity could not justify such sacrifices. Holmes was convicted of manslaughter, but sentenced to only 6 months in prison and a $20 fine, a reflection of the jury's recommendation for mercy.